I mean, we're all powerless against bacon, right? It's not just me. Hi, I'm Allie Rosen, and today we are making a make-ahead breakfast of egg muffins and granola smoothies. I love to make this on Sunday nights so that I have something protein-packed and ready for the week. As a mom of 3, this recipe is a lifesaver for busy mornings before school. If you want more kid-friendly recipes, click that subscribe button. I love making these egg muffins because they are super easy, you can do them in advance, and as you're gonna see, you can use almost the entire carton of eggs. The other thing that's great about this is that you can use whatever leftovers you have. You know, you have some fried rice, you have extra veggies, anything that you like to eat that's in your fridge, you'll probably like it with some eggs. We're gonna do a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, some milk, because that makes it extra fluffy, and then about a teaspoon of salt. And you really wanna make sure to have a good amount of salt here because we are using 10 eggs. And then you're just gonna whisk these up, and that's your base. This is the easiest part. All right, so we're gonna pour this into a measuring cup so that when we're pouring it in later, we don't make a mess. And now we're gonna prep our ingredients. We have 4 different egg cups that we're making, and obviously you can mix and match with this as much as you want. The first that we're gonna do is chives, ham, and potatoes, which is just a great combo if you have leftover potatoes. Any items that are a little rougher, like the potatoes, raw meat, any like really tough vegetables, you wanna cook them in advance. And all you're gonna do here is add these into the egg cups, and you can do that before you put in the eggs. Whatever amount works for you, you can do more or less. You know, just tear that up a little bit. And so this is just a super easy, kind of like a breakfast sandwich in an egg cup. And with these, you wanna fill it up. You know, they're not gonna rise a lot, so use your eggs as you go, but you can also have some of the material sticking out, like that's totally fine. We're gonna top it with a little more chives, why not? So another version of this that I love is to kind of do like a Tex-Mex version with some jalapenos, and obviously, depending on the age of your kids, be careful with peppers. If you've had taco night and you have some extras, this is a great way to also use leftovers. I love a little bit of raw bell pepper in there because that's gonna give you a little bit of crunch. And then we're gonna add in a little bit of cheddar cheese because who doesn't love a little cheddar cheese? Let's be honest, you can never have too much cheese in anything, especially when it comes to making things for kids. What's great about this is if you have like leftover beef from a taco night that has all those seasonings already in it, that's gonna be just like a great option to sort of add a lot of flavor without having to do a lot when it comes to the eggs. So that's the second one. For the veggie lovers in your life, I have a veggie version as well. We're gonna use some marinated red peppers as well as raw bell peppers. What's great about that is that you get the flavor of the marinated peppers, but you get that crunch with the bell peppers, so get a little bit of both. Also add a little bit of spinach because, you know, we all need more greens in our life. And again, like the freshness of that will come through. And then of course, a little bit more cheese. But because this is sort of on the healthier side, we're gonna use some shredded mozzarella. But again, like this is one of those great ones where if you have feta or even if you wanna use cheddar cheese again, like replace it with whatever you have. So we're just gonna throw some more of this in here. And last but not least, everybody's favorite, bacon and cheese is the classic, especially kids are always happy to eat anything that has bacon in it. And not that I've ever had leftover bacon in my house, but if you wanna make a bit extra and then put it off to the side before everyone can eat it on the weekends, then you can sort of add it in. So we're gonna do a little bit of bacon and then go for the cheddar cheese again. Because who doesn't love a little bacon and cheese, right? Like nothing could be better than that. And then we're just gonna add our egg on top. So once you have your egg muffins ready, we are just gonna put this into a 375-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Super easy. So while our egg muffins are in the oven, we are gonna make our granola smoothie. What we're gonna do is put everything into a bag and then freeze it so that these are ready to go. And what's great is instead of a regular smoothie where you have to add ice, which dilutes it, everything's gonna be frozen here. So we are gonna add in a little bit of yogurt to the bag. I like to use Greek yogurt, but whatever you have a preference for. And if you like a flavored yogurt, you can do that too. We're gonna add a little bit of peanut butter. Again, whatever nut butters you have lying around the house are great. That just kind of gives that extra protein. Then we're gonna add in whatever fruit we have lying around. I like a banana because those always go great in a smoothie. And then we're gonna add some blueberries. For each smoothie, you're gonna want about half a banana here, and then some fresh blueberries. I love having berries in a smoothie. I feel like that's kind of the flavor everybody's looking for, so as many berries as you want to fit in. Then we're also gonna add in some dried cranberries. I love doing dried fruits because that adds to the sweetness, and it also just gives a little bit more of that acidity that you get from using a dried fruit. And then last but not least, we're going to add in some granola. What I love about doing granola here is, yes, you could add it on top at the end, but I love having the oats already there. So you can make as many of these as you want. I'm gonna throw this into the freezer. I already have some frozen that we're gonna grab to make our smoothies now. So to make the smoothie, you're gonna take all of your frozen ingredients, pop them into your blender. Perfect. And then you're just gonna add as much milk as you would like, you know, depending on the consistency that you want your smoothie to be. And just keep in mind, you can always add more, but not take it away. So. Beautiful. So we have our smoothie, and now we're gonna take our egg muffins out of the oven. So we're gonna let these cool for a minute, and in the meantime, we're gonna try our smoothie here. So I love the color of the blueberries coming through here. It looks so refreshing. What I love about this smoothie is that you get that granola in there, you get the peanut butter, but it still has all the fruit, so you feel like you're getting an entire meal just from this one smoothie. This is gonna pair so well with these egg muffins. You can just put them in a Tupperware, super easy, throw them into the fridge, or even put them into the freezer if you wanna keep them longer, but they're super delicious. When you want to heat them back up, you can just put them in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And what you have is a super easy single meal ready to go whenever you want it. I love this one. It's the potato and ham with the chives. Super fluffy because we added in that milk and the cheese, but also you get the flavor of the ham and the potatoes. Such a healthy option for the new year. What would you guys put into these muffins? I would love for you to comment below. And I might just take these all myself for now. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.